Joining me is Sophie Elsworth, media writer of the Australian newspaper. Sophie, thanks for your time. As it turns out, police were actually waiting at Meg O'Neill's home and arrested the activists as soon as they set foot on the ground. But has the ABC lied to us about how much it knew about this planned home invasion? Because its statement at the time when it became a controversy, you and I were talking about it, claimed it was only just prior to the action that its Four Corners team received the tip to go to an address. They had no knowledge of what was at that address or that it was someone's home. Sophie, they had no knowledge of what action was going to occur there, and the ABC team in no way colluded with the activists. Do you believe that after watching last night's documentary?
Andrew, what complete and utter garbage. This is an investigative program. It pins itself as being the, best investigative program in the country, and yet they had no idea where they were going. They just happened to have a camera crew on the morning of August 1, a camera crew inside the car with the activists, but they had no idea where they were going. What absolute rubbish. And Andrew, the press releases, the statements they put out, I printed them off today. They said on August 2 they had no knowledge of what action was going to occur at this property. And then on August 11, they changed their tune, they did a review, and they said they did have some awareness of what was going on there. This is the ABC absolutely caught red-handed lying to the Australian public. And I think really tough questions, Andrew, need to be asked in Senate estimates. This is absolutely disgraceful. And this is what the media have to get from the ABC. They put out these statements. It was utterly wrong, utterly false. They were caught totally, telling falsehoods. This is absolutely shameful, and I really hope in Senate estimates in a couple of weeks the bosses are really put under the spotlight here and answers must be given about what on earth was going on.
Yes, they had no idea of what was going to happen as they filmed the protesters actually filling paint guns. They got tipped off just before the operation when in fact they'd already had time enough to install a camera or a crew in the car going with the protesters. I mean, seriously. This documentary was so pro the protesters, making them seem like heroes, Sophie, and it was also demanding, the reporter was demanding the Police Assistant Commissioner to explain all those police arresting these protesters. Here's a couple more grabs.
The group Disrupt Burrup Hub is trying to stop one of Australia's biggest fossil fuel projects. This is the story of the battle for the future and the lengths all sides will go to win.
I guess, how do you justify devoting this amount of resources towards this group and this particular protest?
God, Sophie, the ABC is meant to be impartial because it's taxpayer funded. Was this documentary in any way impartial?
Andrew, that's almost a joke of a question.
I know it is.
We're paying for this kind of content. We're paying for this. The mums and dads, the people out there at home struggling with cost of living are giving the ABC $1 billion a year, and they're spending it on content like this, and then their communications team is putting out rubbish statements which are completely false, and then they hold a review and go, oh, sorry, actually they did know what was going on, but they didn't collude with them. This is a complete and utter joke. And as I said, there needs to be answers. David Anderson, the managing director, needs to be put before Senate estimates and told how could they put out a statement that was utterly false, utterly wrong, and then go, oh, we had a review. Actually, they did kind of know what was going on, but in no way were they in cahoots. What an utter load of rubbish. And I hope that Paul Barry does his job, Andrew, on Monday and goes to town on this. This is utterly disgraceful.
Oh, Sophie, you are so naive. It comes from being so young, Sophie. When you get to my age, you will lose that naivety. Now, also last night on the ABC's Q&A was this very nasty, very personal abuse from an Aboriginal activist, Natasha Wanganeen, against federal Liberal MP James Stephens, who was against The Voice. Here he is.
I think European colonisation has been an overwhelmingly good thing for the great society that we live in. I'm a proud Australian.
I'm a Narungga, Noongar, Ngarrindjeri and Kaurna woman, first before anything, and I will never be a part of that. That is disgusting.
Well, she chewed him out. That's only a short bit of it, but she chewed him out and said he was a disgrace, etc., etc. The host, Patricia Kovelis, didn't seem to care that one guest was being abused so personally, also by the audience, abused by the audience. What do you make of it?
I couldn't believe what I was watching last night, Andrew, again on the taxpayer-funded broadcaster that we pay for. Patricia Karvelas, I think, asked the Liberal MP 3 or 4 times about colonisation. This was clearly to get that grab, to clearly make headlines. And some of the conduct on that panel, she didn't pull up Natasha Wanganeen for the way she was speaking to the Liberal MP. And then you hear the crowd cheering this on, as always. Where is the balance in the ABC? Someone in there is running this place. There's just no balance, Andrew, and that's why Q&A viewers are tuning off.
Someone in there is running this place. It's called the staff collective. No one really is responsible. The staff just do as they please, and the managers just nod along, not wanting any trouble. Sophie Elsworth, thank you so much indeed for your time.